what's up YouTube? Welcome back to DHR Fighter Studios. I'm your host, Devin Hughes. So we're going to be talking about the interview with Nick News and Catherine Sunderland. Now, for those of you who don't know who Catherine Sunderland is, she is a actress who is known for Power Rangers in general. The third MMPR Pink, Pink Zeo, and Pink Turbo. But I will bet you 95% of y'all don't really realize that some of these actors do agree with the fans a lot in terms of limiting the sentai so we can focus on our original stories. But that's been going on since pretty much the Disney era, because if you look at certain Disney shows like Jungle Fury and RPM, they've pretty much been limiting the sentai stuff a lot. So let's take a listen.
Once and Always and Cosmic Fury are two productions with creative freedom. Do you think Power Ranger has needed to distance itself from Super Sentai for a while to forge its own path?
Yeah, I'm actually really happy they did that with Cosmic Fury and created their own costumes, and because it's limiting when you're taking footage from another. It's limiting you to just only having that footage that you can use, and kind of trying to tailor a story around that, which is what they've done all these years. So I'm really happy that they chose to do that, and I really hope it does well. I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah. I can say it's amazing. It's amazing.
You heard him. It's pretty much obvious to me that both the actors and actresses and the fans pretty much want to see Power Rangers be its own thing. I mean, you can if you're continuing to adapt the sentai, but without using the Japanese stock footage. You could just be your own story, your own series, but with better VFX. You really don't need anything that's been used for 30 years and 20 years in New Zealand and 30 years in California. But what I'm saying is that if they're gonna find a filming location, whether it's gonna be back in LA or in Canada, I think there are chances that the Jonathan and Twister reboot is gonna have better VFX in terms of them working on the CGIs and the powers, the Megazords, the robots, even with their morphing into the Ranger suits. I think we're gonna probably have one of those moments where Power Rangers as the American Tokusatsu is back to being the most popular show since 1993. And what I mean by that is that if you take some elements from the comics, not the Shattered Grid comics, you can do that for an animation TV show or a film. But as far as like live action scenes goes, I think you can take some elements from the comics and just make it your own thing, make your own flavors. Even if you're just adapting the sentai, you can still do that, but just don't use the Japanese stock footage, because that's been played out since I don't want to say play out, but that's been done for 30 years. It's like you're eating fried chicken and french fries for too long, and it's getting to a point where you're gonna have to switch up your eating habits. Like, you can switch from fried chicken to eating baked foods like baked chicken and fish and pork and steak. Like, you have to eat all of that while in baked, but not anything fried, and slow down on the sodium as well. I think that's what Hasbro is pretty much doing that with Power Rangers, taking a break from the Japanese stock footage, going all original with the original stories, footage, storylines, and good writing and good acting as well. I think we're gonna get all of that in 2025, because right now the writer strike is pretty much over with, but we still got a couple of days before the actor strike is still going on. So hopefully they'll be able to reach a deal, because someone on YouTube actually told me that we're still dealing with the actor strike even though the writer strike is over, now that everybody can just go back to work. But as far as the acting strike goes, I think they're gonna probably get better pay, the better treatment in Hollywood, because hopefully it can allow the studios can wake up from the delusion that they're in. But for Power Rangers, I think we're gonna end up being in a good hands at Hasbro. Yes, they put out bad toy qualities in the past, but going on a hiatus in 2024, it makes a lot of sense for them to actually get their stuff together to put out better products for the Lightning Collection. Whether it's going to be the Jonathan and Twister reboot Lightning Collection, or is it going to be another Sentai adaptation, but without using the Sentai footage, you can pretty much continue to make those Lightning Collection toys of that. But in 2025, I do believe that the possibility that Power Rangers might end up being better without the Sentai footage, while continuing to adapt the Sentai when it comes to the suits, but not use the Japanese footage. But also limiting the Sentai footage can also benefit the show of being a better product. So that's my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna catch you in my next one.